And welcome into Fox 4 News. I'm Ryan Kruger. Our top story tonight, a new email from the state agency running Alligator Alcatraz says the facility will likely be emptied out in days. All of this after a federal judge ordered the facility to halt operations. Community correspondent Eric Lovelace shows us what happens next.
Alligator Alcatraz will likely close down within the next couple of days. I'm Collier County community correspondent Eric Lovelace, and I've been down here multiple times, and I've been covering this since the start. So I used my contacts to get my hands on these emails where the state says the number of immigrants being held here will be down to 0. But I wanted to know what was next for the facility. More legalese.
There are a number of different things going on all at the same time.
Last Thursday, a South Florida judge ordered that Alligator Alcatraz be shut down within 60 days. No surprise, though, to Governor DeSantis.
This is a judge that was not going to give us a fair shake.
An appeal was immediately filed, and according to DeSantis, wouldn't change anything moving forward. But shortly after, as you can see here, an email from Florida Division of Emergency Management's Kevin Guthrie saying the number of individuals in the facility will be down to 0 in the next couple days. When asked about this Wednesday, Governor DeSantis attributed the email to rapid deportation, not closure.
I think he was just referring to they're deporting him very quickly.
It's unclear whether or not DeSantis plans to continue his appeal. However, as for other cases against the facility, Pamela C., a legal expert I spoke to, says since it's shutting down, those cases become irrelevant.
You don't litigate, you don't spend money on a case that has no meaning.
She says, however, since this is labeled as a preliminary injunction, it's, well, preliminary, which means if they wanted to use this order for the Jacksonville deportation depot, they couldn't.
It means that there will not be an opinion on which they can rely later on.
If DeSantis wanted to, he could appeal all the way up to the Supreme Court. But C says, because of the apparent dismantling of the detention center, this appeal is pointless.
It makes the entire case moot. And a federal court is not going to deal with a moot case because it wastes the court's time and resources.
I reached out to FDEM asking why they were doing this despite a pending appeal, and I didn't receive a response. We're still waiting on confirmation if the facility is officially closing, and for exactly what's next, we won't know until the state makes its next move. In Collier County, Eric Lovelace, Fox 4.
Thanks for joining us here in the Fox 4 Weather Center. Let's bring you the latest now on the tropics. Again, the only active storm that we are tracking for you right now. Tropical Storm Fernan, a storm for the fish hanging out here in the Atlantic. Still sustained winds of 50 miles per hour expected to undergo transition into a cold core cyclone as we head into tomorrow. So it's still going to maintain tropical storm strength, but it won't technically be a tropical system because it's going to be moving over colder water, and so that will just basically not allow it. But it's going to be fizzling out gradually over the open waters there, never a threat to land. The best kind of storm, in my opinion. No development is currently forecast through the next 7 days. Considering the time of year, things are rather quiet across the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Gulf. But we have to stay on guard. After all, we are approaching the peak of hurricane season. Climatologically, that is September 10th. So here we are today. You can see that spike right there. So we're almost there to the midpoint, and then we'll gradually see things wind down. Usually mid to late October is when things really start to quiet down. So unfortunately, it looks like things are going to be acting up before they quiet down. And we're going to be watching waves roll off the coast of Africa. This tends to be kind of the focal point for development for those waves of energy, and that's what we will be monitoring, especially as we head beyond that 7-day threshold. So looking ahead to September 3rd through the 9th, we'll be closely watching the Atlantic between the Cabo Verde Islands and the Lesser Antilles, increasing that probability more so into mid-September, but also watching even parts of the southwestern Gulf. Your 7-day forecast is next.
A difficult day in America. 2 children killed, several others injured after a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. According to local authorities there, 17 other people were hurt, including 14 kids. Police say the shooter was killed likely by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says the entire community is in shock.
There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation.
Now, a nation in mourning again. Here's Scripps News Group's Jenna Ray with the latest.
As we learn more about what unfolded at Annunciation Catholic School in Church Wednesday, we're also learning more about the shooter, who police say is 23-year-old Robin Westman. Minneapolis police say Westman shot through the church's stained glass windows during Wednesday morning's mass. Westman shot 19 people, killing an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old and injuring 17 more.
When you found out that it was Robin Westman, what was your initial reaction to hearing that?
Oh man, I kind of freaked out.
Albert Ross stopped by Annunciation Catholic School with his kids Wednesday to lay flowers for the victims. He told me he knew the shooter.
You know, I have a small construction company here in the community, and Robin applied for a job with us, and so we were thinking about hiring Robin for a maintenance position.
Wow.
So
that's kind of crazy.
Yes, it's kind of crazy. And Robin was a nice person. The interview went nice.
Ross says he also knows Westman's parents, and the interactions with family have always been normal.
I feel real bad for the community and what happened here today.
While police continue investigating this tragic shooting, thousands of people in the community came here to the Academy of Holy Angels to pray.
It was a really beautiful service, but just heartbreaking. I just really felt the need to be with my children, honestly, and just be with loved ones.
The community still reeling and processing.
Very close to home. Very close to home. It's also made me think a lot about just mental health in this country. And you know, the root of all this is obviously someone that was really unwell.
In Minneapolis, Jenna Ray, Scripps News Group.
A teenager accused of killing a Cape Coral girl was back in the courtroom on Wednesday. I'm Cape Coral community correspondent Bella Vline, and I've been reporting on this since 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller was shot and killed in March of last year. I was in the courtroom when Thomas Stein's attorney asked for more time because they have more witness interviews to get through. But his attorney did say they believe they were in the last round of these interviews. The state then said they believe they'd be ready to go to trial by either the end of the year or beginning of spring.
I believe there's a handful more of the truly substantive depositions that still need to be conducted, but we have made a tremendous amount of progress.
The state attorney's office says they're on track for a 3-day trial for Stein. Stein will be back in court on October 3rd, and Christopher Horn Jr., the other boy accused of murder, is set to be in court on Thursday. Reporting at the Lee County Courthouse, Bella Vline, Fox 4.
I'm your Fort Myers Beach community correspondent, Anvar Baruziev, and on Wednesday, the town announced over $11 million was awarded by FEMA to rebuild the Fort Myers Beach Elementary School. But after talking to the district, I found out it's not that simple.
Florida is trying to boost juice production with a new rule. I'm Arcadia community correspondent Hunter Walterman, and I spoke with one local producer who says in the long run, it could actually hurt farmers more than help.
Right now at Rooms To Go, buy any Lazy Boy recliner and get 150% off. That's any Lazy Boy recliner, even the Shack recliner. Buy one and get a second recliner at 50% off. Great style, great value at the Rooms To Go Labor Day sale.
With a big day ahead, I always make time to swing by McDonald's. Their warm, fluffy sausage McMuffin with egg jumpstarts my day in a way that nothing else can. And now it's only $3. Tasty and affordable, McDonald's checks off all the boxes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Here's a fun fact about the Florida Lottery. The Bright Future Scholarship Program, which allows students to attend higher education institutions, is primarily funded by the Florida Lottery. Learn more at floridalottery.com. When you play, it's good fun.
When it comes to saving lives, one cancer center stands above the rest. Moffitt Cancer Center, now in South Shore, delivering Florida's top choice for cancer care closer to you. It starts with an accurate diagnosis to give each patient the most precise cancer treatment plan with the best chance to beat it. And at Moffitt, our elite team is committed to providing the best outcomes. As Florida's only comprehensive cancer center, we treat more than 100 different types of cancer. And now Moffitt at South Shore offers a full range of services from advanced screenings to the latest life-saving therapies with cancer experts that offer the highest level of expertise for your specific type of cancer. At Moffitt, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments. Our scientists are developing innovative clinical trials that become routine treatments for patients. No one in Florida even comes close because we're driven by a single-minded urgency to save lives. That's the Moffitt difference. With our new South Shore location, we're making it more convenient for you to choose Florida's #1 cancer hospital. Choose Moffitt first, a cancer center like no other.
At FPL, we work every day to build a resilient grid. That means strengthening it to better withstand extreme weather, hardening poles to better resist storm-forced winds, placing thousands of miles of power lines underground, and using smart technology to avoid some outages altogether. Because resiliency creates readiness, with a grid that can withstand more and recover faster. FPL, working for you every single day.
There was a forklift accident. Before I hired Morgan & Morgan, I did call a few other places. The other places denied helping me. I called Morgan & Morgan, and they accepted me kind of like with open arms. They are for the people. They showed me that they were for me.
Sometimes mornings feel the same every day, but they don't have to. And with the McDonald's app deals on the horizon, you can start your morning on McDonald's time. Get a breakfast combo meal full of your faves for just $5.49, only in the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale. Dine in style with great 5-piece dining sets on sale. Like this modern set, $4.95. This cottage style set, just $6.88. Or this contemporary look, just $5.77. Now at Rooms to Go.
You're watching Fox 4 News, part of the Scripps News Group.
Florida's citrus industry is dying. After 2 decades of disease and massive storms, the FDA is proposing a new rule that it says could help save it. I'm Arcadia community correspondent Hunter Walterman, and I spoke with one local citrus producer who says that actually it could hurt farmers in the long run. Caleb Shelfer grew up on this land.
I love being a part of it. I love knowing my family's history.
History that stretches back to 1887, when his great-great-grandfather moved from Texas to Arcadia.
With a small herd of cattle and 3 boys and a wife.
A legacy that weighs on Caleb today.
A lot of driving, a lot of worrying.
Like citrus farmers across Florida, the Shelfers are under pressure from storms and disease. When Milton passed through last year, Caleb says they almost lost all of their crop. A Florida Tax Watch report finds citrus production in the state dropped 90% over the last 2 decades.
And there's only a few of us left.
Wednesday, U.S. Senator Ashley Moody promoted legislation she says can help save the industry. Her bill pushed the FDA to propose a rule change that would slightly lower the amount of sugar required in pasteurized orange juice.
Which does nothing for quality or nutrition of orange juice, but everything to do with helping our growers survive and thrive.
It's a move backed by industry groups like Florida Citrus Mutual, which says it will help growers be more competitive.
We cannot survive as an industry with arbitrary regulations getting in our way.
Caleb disagrees.
Some people do, some people don't, but we don't think that it's right.
He says it will help farmers harvest more citrus sooner, but that it could also lead to an inferior product. The shining Florida citrus tasting no different from that of Brazil or Mexico.
That means you're pretty much leveling the playing field where all juice tastes the same.
And Florida growers could get paid less for their product, threatening another generation of growers calling this land home.
We're trying our best to keep it alive.
In Arcadia, Hunter Walterman, Fox 4.
I'm the best charter captain! It was the viral video that had millions talking.
Hey, bro.
Bust me out!
Chill, bro. I mean, it was pretty intimidating, obviously.
Only Fox 4's Alex Orenchuk finds out what happens next.
And I've been reporting on this story since it broke, and I finally got a chance to meet Gage Tolles, who tells me he's turned that experience into something positive. He's becoming a charter captain himself. At first, it kind of like turned me off to the idea a little bit, but then when I kind of got to thinking about it, I'm like, you know, I could set a better example to the people that are coming out on the boat with me.
I'm Ken Eflin. Tonight's Florida Lotto jackpot, $28.25 million. And tonight's winning numbers, 16, 47, 48, followed by 2 and the number 26. We've got another great chance for you to win with our Florida Lotto double play. Tonight's double play numbers, 14, 51, 34, 10, 50, 46, and 41. Now let's play Fantasy 5. You could win hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tonight's winning Fantasy 5 numbers: 18, 32, 25, 15, and 31. Let's take another look at those winning numbers. Thank you for playing the Florida Lottery and doing good for education. It's good fun.
It is the Battle of the States. Get out!
Yes, sir.
Get out!
Hell's Kitchen Battle of the States premieres Thursday, September 25th on Fox.
I'm your Fort Myers Beach community correspondent, Anvar Ruziev, and I'm standing in front of the Fort Myers Beach Elementary School. I was here when it reopened after Hurricane Ian and again when it closed down after Hurricane Helene. The town says that recently FEMA has awarded over $11 million to rebuild this campus, but the district says that money isn't going to the school, at least not directly. The Lee County School District explained that FEMA originally acknowledged the money for the beach school after Hurricane Ian. And after spending approximately $6 million on the school, they did reopen, something the parents here rallied for.
All the parents rallied together and really fought the fight to get the school back open the last time. And then last year with Helene and Milton, it's right back to square one, unfortunately.
On Wednesday, the town sent out a press release regarding the award of over $11 million for the beach school. But the school district tells Fox 4 that what FEMA calls an award is actually an accounting credit to pay back a state loan. They say that advance was spent on repairs across the district, not just here on the beach.
It just seems like this is going to continue repeating. It gets harder and harder to have the kids on the beach. It gets harder and harder to work on the beach, to own property on this beach and everything else, and it's definitely a challenge.
The district says the future of this campus is still under review. For now, students have to commute off-island to Heights Elementary, and it's not just parents calling for the beach school to reopen.
If you had the choice between the two schools, which school would you prefer?
The beach school.
We reached out to the mayor and vice mayor, who said they are still working to gather more information about the status of the school, a status that both parents and students are waiting for.
It was fun to be part of that school, and I hope it can open again.
We'll continue to monitor updates on whether the Fort Myers Beach School will reopen, and we'll provide those both on air and on our website at fox4now.com. Reporting from Fort Myers Beach, Anvar Ruziev, Fox 4.
Thanks for joining us here in the Fox 4 Weather Center. Well, today with less cloud cover, fewer rain showers, temperatures kind of rebounded. We're back to 87 degrees this afternoon in Punta Gorda, still a few degrees below average. But yesterday, those highs were only in the lower 80s because of the clouds and rain around. So overall, seeing those improvements. For Fort Myers, we were spot on for this time of year. And for Naples, once again, it was a hot afternoon, hitting that high of 94 degrees. Currently, we do still have those mid 80s down here across Collier County from Golden Gate to Marco Island, sitting at 84 degrees. Currently 80 degrees coming in for Fort Myers as well as Cape Coral. And speaking of the Cape, let's take you live outside right now. Let's check on things here from the Fox 4 studios overlooking Pine Island Road. Everything this evening is nice and quiet. Just a few lingering clouds out there. You can kind of see them refracting there in the light, but we are expecting those clouds to gradually be clearing out. So our current weather setup is as follows. We still have this stubborn stationary front hanging out close by. This here tomorrow into Friday is going to be retreating off toward the north. So that will allow us to return to what is more of a typical rainy season pattern, featuring those afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then over the weekend, that front's going to make its way back toward the south, and it's going to have yet another wave of energy, and we're going to have more rain. But for now, we are just seeing some isolated rain showers here across parts of eastern Glades County on the western side of Lake Okeechobee up toward the Monkey Box area, heading into Moorhaven as well as Clewiston. So we are seeing a couple of downpours there. Aside from that, though, radar is expected to stay dry tonight. Now heading into tomorrow, best chance for those showers and thunderstorms mainly developing after lunchtime. Same story for your Friday. That will also keep temperatures a bit hotter. More sunshine expected both mornings will allow things to heat up. High temperatures are forecast to climb into the low and mid 90s across southwest Florida. But heading into the weekend, with that front coming back in, with it having some waves of energy rolling across it, that will be elevating those rain chances Saturday, Sunday into Monday. So that's why we have upped those rain probabilities to 70%, just to give you that heads up that there could be some impacts to outdoor plans. So just be prepared to pivot. But even continuing into your Labor Day, it does look like kind of a soggy setup for sure. But as for tomorrow, I'm going to keep those rain chances at 30%. And then for your Friday afternoon, boost those up to 60%. Let's take a closer look now with your updated model here. Tomorrow morning, sunshine to kick off the day. Right around 11 a.m., we could see some morning coastal showers here for Collier County, even as far north as Bonita Springs, but otherwise we'll see that better opportunity develop after lunchtime. Isolated showers and storms are forecast. Best chance in the afternoon, right here around 5 p.m. We're dry along the coast, but farther inland to the east of I-75 is where we'll see that better opportunity as that sea breeze starts to kick in. So across DeSoto, eastern Charlotte, Glades, Hendry, central and eastern Collier, as where we'll see that better probability into the evening hours. Storms there winding down after sunset. Similar setup expected as we head into your Friday as well, with that better probability developing after 2 p.m. So for tomorrow, sunshine 78 degrees to greet you heading off on your Thursday. Isolated storms for the afternoon. High temperatures around 93 degrees. Factor in that humidity. It's going to be feeling more like the triple digits here the next couple of afternoons. And as we look ahead to that holiday weekend, storms are likely Saturday, Sunday into your Labor Day. Of course, more clouds and rain will keep temperatures a touch cooler in the upper 80s.
Here's what the car insurance companies may think they know after a car crash. They know you probably don't know what your claim is worth, or how to calculate pain and suffering, lost wages and future earnings, current and future medical expenses, or diminished value to your car. But guess what? We do. And if we don't win your case, you owe us nothing. Farah and Farah. Fox 4's mobile app is sponsored by the North Law Firm, where you're in the know and on the go with Joe.
All right, Havertys. This 3-day weekend is finishing in a flash, and Mama needs a win. Top green leather, and it's on sale?
Get better savings on better styles at Havertys Labor Day sale.
Wow, are you ready for a show? It's the Freedom Sale at Florida Window and Door. These specials are so outrageously low, they could disrupt the entire window industry. You must call or go online to get your private Freedom Sale pricing on any window, including our Cat 5 windows. Prices too extreme to advertise in public. I'm Shelly, and these are the Turtle Tough windows you can trust from Florida Window and Door. Call me today, 866-5-SHELLY, for a free quote.
Hear me out. What if your checking account came with benefits like a combo meal, but without the grease, yeah? So start with high yield checking and earn up to 7% APY on your first $500. Then stack on a savings and money market account. Then you top it off with freebies like overdraft protection and BOGO tickets to attractions throughout Florida. That's financial fuel without the crash. Visit suncoast.com/combo and build your winning combo today.
During the Make This the Summer sales event at Cape Coral, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Take home a brand new 2025 Wagoneer S Limited before federal tax credits are gone. Save 40% off MSRP on a 2025 Wagoneer S Limited EV for only $39,995 or $249 per month. CapeCoralCDJR.com.
The mattress mission continues.
Save the best for last.
And it's on sale.
Save up to $600 on Beauty Rest Black mattresses. Havertys, we furnish happiness.
Food, fun, arts, and entertainment. Before you plan your weekend, check out Things to Do on fox4now.com. Scan the code, start the fun.
It wasn't in Gotham City, but right here in Cape Coral, where police say a man in Batman pajamas took down a burglar in his neighbor's garage. I'm Fox 4's Austin Shagorodsky, and I didn't need a bat signal to track him down. It was Kyle, my vet, who jumped into action. It happened around 2 in the morning in a neighborhood here near Santa Barbara and 29th Terrace. My vet said he was asleep when his wife, his own sidekick Robin, spotted an alert on their security cameras.
And she's like,
she checked it and she woke me up. She's like, hey, someone's rummaging through your truck.
My vet said he knew he had to harness his inner Bruce Wayne, but by the time he got outside, the man was gone. So he hopped in his truck, not his Batmobile, and started his own neighborhood patrol. Then he noticed something odd at his neighbor's house.
So I called him. I said, hey, your garage is open and my truck was just broken into. So I'm going to sit outside until you guys secure your garage.
And that's when he spotted someone suspicious inside. So my vet said he quietly snuck around back.
Without the person seeing me, and I grabbed a hold of their shirt and their right wrist. And I told him, I said, listen, don't try to get away. I have plenty of experience with this.
With his background in corrections, my vet said he kept the suspect calm until police arrived. But he admits he had a little extra armor on.
I'm really glad I had my Batman pajamas on because that gave me the extra confidence that I needed.
Police identified the man as 20-year-old Justin Schimpel. They say Schimpel also broke into the neighbor's car and stole 2 pairs of Ray-Ban sunglasses, cash, a wristlet, and some gift cards.
He was taken into custody. He was arrested and charged. He's facing multiple charges today thanks to the help of Kyle in his Batman pajamas.
And like the comics say, the Dark Knight will rise again when he's needed.
We want to kind of do as much as we can for the community, and hopefully other people will start being better at being better.
Reporting in Cape Coral, I'm Austin Shagorodsky, Fox 4 News.
Let's get you all set for the rest of the work week heading into the weekend. Isolated storms are expected tomorrow, generally after 11 a.m. High temperatures around 93 degrees. Friday will be similar with a better chance in the afternoon. And then looking ahead to the weekend, another storm system will bring us widespread showers and storms likely, with those rain probabilities going up to 70% Saturday, Sunday into Labor Day.
Hi, Southwest Florida. I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. If you're in need for a quality